I'm the Deputy Superintendent of State Police. I'm the field commander. And today at approximately 11 a.m., Trooper Richard Albert, who was assigned to the Cobleskill Interstate Patrol, he was operating a marked patrol unit when he observed a silver SUV being operated eastbound on Interstate 88, traveling over 100 miles per hour in the town of Duanesburg, New York. Trooper Albert conducted a traffic stop on the SUV, and upon approaching the driver's side of the vehicle, the operator put the window down and opened fire on Trooper Albert, striking him in the left upper arm shoulder area. Trooper Albert returned fire. The shooter and passenger exited the vehicle, and the shooter fled on foot. The passenger was taken into custody, uninjured at the scene. The shooter was located approximately 1.5 hours later in the area of Darby Hill Road in Duanesburg, suffering from what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was taken to Albany Medical Center via med flight, where he was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. We will not be identifying the suspect at this time, as we're still confirming his identity and notifying of next of kin. Trooper Albert is currently in stable condition at a local hospital, and we're hoping he'll be released sometime this evening. There's currently no threat to the public, and no other individuals were injured other than Trooper Albert and the suspect in this incident. We'd like to thank the following agencies for their assistance and response out to the scene: the Schoharie County Sheriff's Office, the Schenectady County Sheriff's Office, the Village of Cobleskill Police Department, the City of Schenectady Police Department, and the Glenville Police Department. We'll open it up to any questions, but I will remind you this is an ongoing open investigation, so there are not a lot of the facts we'll be able to share with you, but I'll answer what we can and give you the information that we have.
Superintendent, I'm sorry, other than going at a high rate of speed, was the driver or the passenger wanted for any other crime, or did you find evidence of any other crime inside the car? That's
still under investigation. I can't comment on that at this point. At the time of the stop, he was not a known suspect in anything. It was just a normal vehicle and traffic stop taking place out on the highway.
Were these local residents?
We believe so. Fairly local residents. But like I said, still under investigation, and we want to make sure that we got the correct identities before we release anything.
Deputy Superintendent, I know this is already a difficult day, and my condolences, our condolences, for what you've had to endure today with the funeral of Captain Garrow up in Plattsburgh. But can you talk about the danger? Talk about how much worse this could have been?
This could have been a lot worse for us, obviously. We believe Trooper Albert, we've seen the body-worn camera video of his actions. He textbook how he handled this. Every time we stop a car, you go to a complaint, and we know in the back of our minds this could happen. I can't express enough how well I think our troopers handled this, right from Trooper Albert to the search for this suspect in the wooded area afterwards. I think our guys did a phenomenal job, and it was textbook the way it was handled.
Were the windows tinted?
I do not know the answer to that, if they were tinted or not.
Deputy Superintendent, can you tell us what led you to that wooded area off Darby Hill Road?
That's where he fled. After the shooting incident took place, there was gunfire exchange back and forth between him and Trooper Albert, and then he fled up the south side of the highway into the wooded area. So we knew he'd entered into that area, and then we conducted a search with our K-9 and troopers up in that area and found him.
And what about the other occupant of the vehicle?
She is in our custody and being spoken to at this time.
Was she driving?
She was driving.
Do you have the ages of these suspects?
I do not. Like I said, we're still confirming the identities. So once we have that, we'll get a press release out with their information as to who they are and their ages and identities.
Can you speak generally about why the gunfire at all? Was it completely as he approached the window, or?
He was fired upon as he approached the driver's side window. He had no interaction with either occupant prior to being shot at. I believe we have a still photo that we'll release to you, which shows the picture of the gun coming out the window in his direction, firing at him. It was unprovoked. There was nothing that took place prior to that other than just stopping the car.
Any illegal substances found in the car at all? Can you talk about that?
Like I said, it's still under investigation, but there are other evidence of other things being in the vehicle, but we were obtaining a search warrant to search that vehicle, and we'll have more information on that after we search that vehicle.
I know there are a number of road closures, surrounding the area. What's the latest on some of those?
I believe we have Interstate 88 westbound back open. The eastbound lane is probably going to be closed for a few more hours. Hopefully we'll get it open as soon as we can. We have our people out there processing that scene, and it shouldn't be that much longer. We'll have the eastbound lane open as well, I believe.
For drivers and obviously the density of people traveling at that time, was that a challenge? Did that help in terms of what was going on at that time period?
The traffic at that time of the day, it wasn't super heavy, but there was a lot of there were several trucks on the road, tractor trailers, and there was actually one tractor trailer that did assist our trooper.
The log truck, the ones we saw in the picture.
Yeah.
Well, how did he assist?
He actually pulled in front of into the car, so that car couldn't take off.
Can you talk about the 911 reverse system that was used to warn the people and how that works?
How it works is when you have an incident such as this, they do a reverse call to people in that area to tell them to avoid that area or give them any information as far as a suspect or like this subject we're looking for. They give a description of the person and tell people to stay in their house and just give them some information to keep them safe until we can get the situation under control.
Any chance of releasing that audio or get a copy of that audio?
We'd have to check on that. I'm not sure because that's I believe that's from the 911 center, which is not under us, so that I'm sure the sheriff can look at that.
Superintendent, as word of this incident spreads throughout the troops, throughout the state police, I wonder if there are any road patrols that might be reluctant to stop a car now because of this.
I don't think you're going to see our guys being reluctant to stop cars because of this. It's just a little extra caution, and we push it to our people every day. No car stop is routine. It's not something you should get accustomed to or get complacent with. Every stop, every interaction with the public has its own issues, its own chance for danger, and our people know that. And to be honest with you, traffic stops are probably one of the most dangerous things our guys do. Between the traffic on the interstates, the traffic on the roads, and incidents such as this, you never know that person you're stopping. They could be running drugs. They could have just committed a homicide or a robbery or something. You have no idea what you're walking up on, and this is a perfect example. He had no idea, in a moment's notice, his life was in danger.
Can you say anything about the weapon? Was it a handgun or a rifle?
It was a handgun.
Semi-automatic.
I don't want to say what the gun is at this point.
Can you comment on the relationship between the driver and the shooter?
We're still establishing that, what that full relationship is.
How many years does Trooper Albert have on the force?
I'm not sure how many years he has on. How many years does he have on? He's 16?
21 or 20?
21 years. At least 21 years.
Will you release a picture of them later when over Gail yet?
Yeah, we can release a picture of him.
One more question, guys.
Thank you for your time, and again, condolences for everything you've been through today.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Deputy Superintendent, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. My condolences.
Long day.
Yes.
Be well. Thank you.
Deputy Superintendent Richard Allen of the New York State Police briefing us here today, and Dan Levy is here as well. And we heard that the trooper is recovering at Ellis Hospital. Trooper Albert, who's been on the job for 21 years. The Deputy Superintendent describing what happened this morning, that a routine traffic stop on I-88. The trooper approaches the SUV, silver-colored SUV. We don't know the make and model as of this point, but the window comes down, and the trooper, according to the Deputy Superintendent, is fired upon immediately.
And Mark, as you and I were discussing just before this news conference, how inherently dangerous it is to be a police officer.
Yeah.
And this really illustrates that point. It underscores what these men and women have to go through every day. Thankfully, Trooper Albert will recover. He will be fine.
Yeah. Difficult situation all around, and as we mentioned, this is a difficult situation for the New York State Police, as it is already today, as they attended a funeral of one of their own. Captain Christopher Garrow was laid to rest this morning in Plattsburgh. He died of a 9/11 related illness. So we'll have much more from the State Police barracks in Princetown, but let's send it back to you, Rachel, for now.
All right, Mark and Dan, thank you so much. Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Paul Cayano, because, Paul, we've seen the raindrops come down during that press conference in the background. What are you tracking right now?
Yeah, there's some showers around. It's not heavy rain. It's not going to be all night long, but the on and off showers, kind of more of a nuisance than anything else. And it's adding up a little bit, but not too terribly much. Look at even at Saratoga Springs, the